There you go.
Hello again, YouTube. It's me, the now called Soulless Rider, and I'm also going to do my Narukami deck list. So let's get straight to it, being one of my favourite clans. The starting guard is Spark Kid Dragoon. This is basically Counterblast 1, move it into the soul, look at the top 5 cards of my deck, and add a grade 3 of any revealed to my hand. I figured if I want to put a new booster in, at least then I can get something out of it. We go on to crit triggers. Malevolent Djinn. Currently, these crit triggers are move into the soul, the unit gets 3,000. This is good for the final push if you know they don't have perfect guards left. Now move on to the other 4 crit triggers, as this deck runs 8. 8 criticals, Yellow Gem Carbuncle, just a vanilla crit trigger.
Everybody one card that's not there, burn it except for one, make it really valuable. Scribble on it.
And then, of course, 4 draw triggers, just in case they get drive checked, damage checked especially.
That's cat, legendary cat, why? Dog,
And obviously, 4 heal triggers, because you'd be silly not to. Right, on to grade 1s. First of all, 2 Lightning of Hope Helena. These will be switched out for Desert Runner Ryans later due to rarely using its effect. This is basically your, if it boosts a unit and it hits, you can ditch a card and draw a card. But as I said, they're going for Ryans later due to not using that effect ever. Well, Photon Bomber Wyvern. This card can be a beauty when used with Thunderbreak or Vermilion. When your opponent has 3 or more damage in the damage zone and this boosts the unit, it boosts to 10,000 rather than 6,000. With Vermilion at the limit break, can be pretty brutal. 4 perfect guards, Wyvern Guard Gold, of course. 4 8k vanillas, it's Red River Dragoon. They're just your basic beat sticks and boosters. Now on to the grade 2s. 3 Demonic Dragon Berserker Garada.
Not one clan!
Shut up.
One clan for that card.
This card and this deck does a lot of counterblasting. This card, when it does damage to the Vanguard, you flip 1 damage up, allowing me to use effects like Vermilion, Thunderbreak, Death Scythe a bit more efficiently. Because the last thing you want to do is be left with one that you can't use. 3 Dragonic Death Scythe. These are similar to Berserk Dragon in Kagero's, apart from a lot shinier. These are your principal retirers. You don't use these as frequently as Kagero. I'm replacing 1 for Desert Gunner Shiden when I get it. Thunderstorm Dragoon. This is the 10k beater of the deck. Just some simple beef. Always good to have. And then Desert Gunner Shiden. I only own 1 of this at the moment, however I am looking for a second. This basically, when it is placed on the Vanguard or Rearguard, you choose an opponent's unit and it cannot intercept. A bit situational, but stopping intercepts can really force your opponent's hand. Quite literally when it comes to heavy guarding.
You looking for the grade 1 Desert Runner?
Got plenty.
I've got 1.
Yep. Now to the grade 3s. Djinn of the Lightning Flash. This card cannot attack rearguard, so it is at a bit of a disadvantage at that state, but when it's the Vanguard, it gains 4,000 when it attacks, and a rearguard 2,000. So if I'm using, say, Photon Bomber Wyvern, as that is a Vanguard, I'm hitting for 24,000, meaning heavier guards are required. Now there's 2 Thunderbreak Dragons. These are a control card, but much less so. I can counterblast 2 and retire a grade 2 or lower as the Vanguard. It also gains 5,000 attack when I have 4 or more damage I'm attacking. Only works as Vanguard though, so I am currently looking up other options. And then the piece de resistance of this deck, 4 Dragonic Kaiser Vermilions. This is one of my favourite cards in the game. Its effect, if you don't already know, is Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3. It gains 2,000 and hits every unit on the front row. That means your opponent has to guard individually and cannot intercept. With Photon Bomber Wyvern, if they don't have perfect guards, they're going to be hurting quite drastically, because you're hitting them heavily, taking out their rear guards, and if they don't guard, they're screwed. Anyway, as with all of my decks, I'm open to criticism, advice, so if you want to put any messages, feel free.